Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are doing wonderful. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. Today is August 19th. Wow, we're making it halfway through August, or actually, it's way past that, but August is kind of close to being over. That's a little crazy, but we're here. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. It's been an interesting day in the news world. So if you're new here, subscribe and let's get right into it. Moving into the Trump administration segment, as we do, the first topic we have today is Trump wants to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine in order to get into heaven. Trump claims that one of his motives to end the war in Ukraine is getting into heaven. During an interview with Fox and Friends, Trump explained the Ukraine situation. Trump said, "If I can save 7,000 people a week from being killed, I think that's plenty. I want to try to get to heaven if possible." Adding, "I'm hearing that I'm not doing well, and I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole, but if I can get into heaven, this will be one of the reasons." Look, Trump isn't going to get into heaven. I think we all know that. I don't believe in it, but if it is real, he won't be there. Guarantee it. Outside of that, though, I think this is the most humble we will ever see Trump. I kind of expected him to say, like, he would be there instantly. It's really odd. I don't think this is something I expected, and I don't think it's something many people expected. But it's interesting. In other news, Trump is telling his attorneys to review museums around the country for talking about slavery being bad. Trump has instructed his attorneys to go through the museums the same way that they did universities. In his True Social post, he wrote, "Museums throughout Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. The Smithsonian is out of control. Where everything is discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about future. We are not going to allow this to happen. I've instructed my attorneys to go through the museums and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities where tremendous progress has been made. This country cannot be woke because to be woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world and we want people to talk about it, including our museums." It's crazy that we live in the year of 2025 and we have a president who believes slavery isn't bad. Genuinely, what timeline am I living in? That is insane. It really is. I hate to break it to you all in case you didn't know this. History as a whole is woke. Woke is, learning and educating yourself and caring about the people around you. That's what history teaches you about. And what do museums do? They teach you about history. It's not being woke, it's educating yourself and having compassion for those around you. Something this administration, for one, is fully against. But, like, the fact that woke is an insult or woke is used as an insult is wild. It's learning, it's caring about people. And the fact that people think that's like a bad thing is insane. Like, it really shows the lack of compassion that people have in this country. And it's really sad. Really, really fucking sad, genuinely. In other news, the White House has launched a TikTok account, even though it's banned federally. The White House has launched an official TikTok account aiming to tell users Trump's messages and priorities. Yet the app still remains banned on a federal level, and may have concerns about that, or many have concerns about the app being vulnerable, as it's a Chinese parent company. It's not owned. A lot of the investors are from the United States. It's just a Chinese company. Like, if you look into it, the United States has a lot of stakes in China. Interesting, isn't it? Caroline Levitt said in a statement, "Trump administration is committed to communicating the historic success of President Trump has delivered to the American people with as many audiences and as many platforms as possible." This is interesting as we really don't know what's happening with TikTok. I'd love to say this is a good sign, but I'm really not sure what to think on this one. I do think this will likely be a propaganda machine through TikTok. Just wait till we see, the edits, especially. In other news, moving on to the segment about the TikTok, or not TikTok, about the Texas House. A Texas Democrat was locked inside of the Capitol because Republicans refused to let her out of the building. Democratic Representative Nicole Collier from Fort Worth returned to the Texas Capitol on Monday, but said she was locked inside because she wouldn't sign a permission slip to be under escort. The escort was for all House Democrats who left the state in an attempt to ensure they returned on Wednesday for a special session to vote on redistricting. Collier said to CBS via Zoom, "I have a right to resist. I have a right to oppose, just like my voters, just like Texans have a right to change government. And that's what I'm doing. I'm challenging these decisions that are being made. I don't agree with them." This is genuinely insane. I mean, look, locking someone inside of a building because they won't sign a permission slip. She is a grown ass adult, bro, and she was voted in for by her people. She doesn't need a permission slip to protect the votes of those people. Genuinely, that is bullshit. She has every right to sue, and we'll talk about that next because she did. But like, it is genuinely insane that this is happening. It really is. In other news, speaking of suing, the same Texas Democrat has sued the Republican Party within the state for locking her inside of the Capitol. Texas State Representative Nicole Collier has filed a writ of habeas corpus claiming that the Republican majority has unlawfully detained her within the state capitol. Collier, who represents Fort Worth, refused to sign the slip for a police escort and essentially a 24-hour police surveillance. Her lawsuit argues that this situation is illegal confinement, which it is, and as she should. She is being held in that Capitol building against her will. Nobody should be forced to go under surveillance just to go home and see their family. That is genuinely insane. Not to mention, as I just said, she is a grown ass adult, and they are locking her inside of a building when all she's trying to do is protect the voice of her people. That is fucking insane. Moving on into our other news segments, we have one final topic tonight as the FDA has warned the public of radioactive shrimp. The Food and Drug Administration is warning the public not to eat, sell, or serve great value raw frozen shrimp sold at Walmart due to the possible contamination with cesium-137, a radioactive isotope. The contamination was found at 4 U.S. shipping ports and came from Indonesia's BMS Foods, which also ships out other seafood types. The shrimp has entered the food supply, so beware when you eat shrimp. This sucks. I personally love shrimp, but I guess I won't be eating it for a bit. Be careful if you do eat any. These things happen. Granted, radioactive shrimp is crazy, but contaminations like this do happen. So, when something like this does happen, be careful. My recommendation is stay away from shrimp for like a month. That's probably what I'm gonna do. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I kind of went really fast with that one. Oops.